something. I'm gonna play something here.
And we're happy about that. When contractually, they're available to be, talked to and have conversations with, assume a number of them will come over. And nothing but respect for the father who
that was way too nice.
Finances it and owns the Jaguars and all those other things.
That was very pleasant.
Owns the Jaguars and all those other.
That was Nick Khan. Nick Khan is the president. He's the Jack Tully, the Gorilla Monsoon of WWE nowadays. He is the president of WWE. I think he's the CEO too, or something like that. He's out there. Pretty much Triple H runs creative, and he runs the business side. And a few years ago, Tony Khan, when AEW was just like an upstart, and it was just now getting going, and it was all right. It was okay. Tony Khan said some stuff.
I think there's only room for one Khan in the wrestling business, Nick. And it's me, it's Tony Khan. It's not some con man from Connecticut. Have a fun show tonight, Nick.
Like, he said that. And Nick heard that, and Nick was like, I'm not finna respond. But now, listen to that get back. Now I can take your people. This man was on an interview because everyone's doing the interviews this week because it's WrestleMania week, so everyone wants to sit down with the heavy hitters and have an interview. So I'll try to break down as much as I can. But he goes and on an interview today talking about WrestleMania, the business side of WWE and things like that. It's a great interview. And that's what he said. He said that when we want AEW talent, we want AEW talent. And when your contract is up, let's talk some business here. Boy, if that's true with rumors of Mariah May, Jeff Cobb, and many others that's out there, you think that AEW talent are listening to that saying, okay, we know that you want us now. Don't matter who we are. It doesn't matter who we are. This man also said, he was taking jabs at Tony. He said that we don't pay our people a lot of money and not use them. We use people. And yes, they do. You see, Tony Khan doesn't know the wrestling business. It's evident and it's clear now because people don't really want to work with him. They're not going to resign. People like Swerve and people like that, they'll resign. He's just collecting that money. Ask Mercedes Moné, who's killing every woman that steps through the door. You see how that secondary championship is her way of just making sure that she is always on top. She's going to have a match with Toni Storm for the title. And guess what? She's going to win. And then she's going to have all those title belts. I see it, man. So AEW tonight was in Boston, her neck of the woods. Her and Athena kicked off the show. She got a good pop from the crowd. It's her hometown. So the match goes on for 24 minutes. That's me opening up beer. Broken Skull. She has this match for 24 minutes. It was a lot of missteps, a lot of clunkiness. Then in the end, my only problem with this is that Athena. You haven't seen Athena really because she's the Ring of Honor Women's World Champion. But she had that title for a very long time. But she had no place to be showcased. So you would think that her going up against Mercedes is a big money match, right? I mean, that's something that can headline Double or Nothing. No, not Tony. Tony want to give this to you now. Get it in and get it out the way. So you had a 24 pay-per-view, a 24-minute pay-per-view style match, and it was over with a Uno reverse card roll-up. And that wouldn't be the only one that you've seen on this show tonight. So they figured that, okay, we beat her with a roll-up so it doesn't hurt her, right? It does hurt her. It does hurt her. And now she's just going to go back and just, but be happy about the money, right? Happy about the money, even though, like, no one sees you. But be happy with the money, right? I don't understand. But it's going to be Toni Storm versus Mercedes. And they're both looking at each other lustfully, you know what I'm saying? Stuff like that. You know how Tony is. Tony Storm is that way. But yeah, that's what's gonna happen. Then you go on to the back and you see the Young Bucks. Adam Page was about to do an interview, and in comes the Young Bucks. The Young Bucks basically saying, "We helped you out. You know, that's what friends are for. You're looking good, by the way. You go win that Owen Hart tournament, and then after you win that tournament, you bring that belt back to the Elite where it belongs." They walk off, and then Okada is standing there, and he's telling the man to smile. You know what, man? You should smile. Hangman's dumbfounded, and he looks at Renee, and he walks off. Then Okada, he still has the smile on his face, and then he says, "Bitch." That gets me every time, man. If that man, an example of people getting paid a lot of money right here. Okada, man, to him, I think he made the best decision. I think he made the best decision with signing with them. Those are his friends. Those are his people that he knew. You know, I don't know if I know that WWE made a play at him. I know he did. But the Young Bucks convinced him to stay with us, man. Stay with us. You know, over there you'll be working a lot. Over here you ain't got to work that much. You get paid all this money. I'm proud of Okada, man, but I really wish that he was in a better position in this company. I really do. Then you had what's the guy's name? He's new. Josh Alexander, whatever. I don't know. But he's new. He came from somewhere. I forgot where he came from, but I think it was TNA. TNA or somewhere like that. I don't know. But you would think that you put up a vignette about him, because I was seeing that it was like a big deal. I've never seen him wrestle before, so this is my first time watching him. And he goes up against Hangman Page. Now, this is someone that is already established, who's already there, but this match shouldn't have happened. If you just signed this guy, you just signed him and you just beat him right there. You just signed him and you beat him. And like another 20-minute match. This match went on for a long time. And Don Callis comes out there because Hangman wins, of course. And he wins with another Uno reverse card. So after he wins, Josh Alexander is out there in the ring. And out comes the Proto Star. I don't even know what this is, man. Yeah, the man named Josh Alexander. I don't even know what a Proto Star is. I don't know. But he comes out there looking goofy. And then he proceeds to fight with Hangman. I guess they want to fight because next week they're supposed to be, wrestling or whatnot. And he's just looking at him. And then all of a sudden he attacks Hangman and powerbombs him because Don Callis is talking to him backstage. Apparently, him and Don Callis go way back. Guys, the match was fine. It was fine for what it was, but I would have liked it more if Josh had vignettes. Show why this man is a big deal. Show why WWE tried to get him. Show him. But him coming out as a mystery. I'm like, who is this? And I was like, oh, well, this is the guy. I don't know. It's like he's already been beaten. It doesn't matter. Wins and losses matter. They matter, okay? And for this man to just get signed and then to lose is like, you brought him in for this? Where does he go? Where does he fit in? Like, here's another thing. Where does he even fit in? Where does he even fit in? I don't know. We go backstage when we come back from break. And here's another thing that's just like, why is this even on TV? Kids is what this should be called. So somebody teenage son is backstage and he's talking into the camera. He got his mama there. He got his older brother there. He's talking some shit, and then Christian is overhearing him because he said something about his father or whatever the case may be. Christian overhears him and gets in his face and said, you know what, man, I've been gone for a month. I didn't win the title, but you know what? I did it for you. I did it for you to see if you can grow. He hasn't even been on TV like that. It'll be a different thing if he was on TV each and every week, but he's not. He's not even on Collision, I don't even think. So again, like, what is it? But anyway, Christian got him a title match against somebody next week. I forgot who it was. It really don't make no sense. It really don't make a difference. But he says, go out there and prove to me that you can do it. And then he slaps him in the face, and then he just walks off. What is this? Christian comes back. He's been gone since he failed it, yes. And he just comes back, and he's not in a program. He's not in nothing. It's confusing, man. Like, what is Kip Sabian's job? Like, what is his job in this? Just to stand there? What is the mom's job here? What is everyone doing here? What is this stable even? They're not going to push Nick. So why is he even on TV taking up someone's time? Why? What's the point in all of this? It is a shame that you don't have someone in here that can really just show people how all of this stuff is done. Then you had a video package with FTR talking about how they destroyed Edge. Edge is he's just stopped. Will Christian join him? Next, my gosh, here's another thing on this show. Now, this tag team here, the Gates of Agony, they were on Collision. But before that on Collision, you never really saw them because they're in Ring of Honor. So they won a match last week on Collision, a tag match. And based upon that match that they won, then they get a title shot at the Hurt Syndicate. Does that make any sense to you if you haven't even seen these people on TV? They don't have anyone for them. This match really shouldn't be a tag team championship match. It should be just like a regular match. Hurt Syndicate beat them. After the match, MJF comes out there, tries again to join the group, but this time he got a little bit more persuasion because he brought women with him, and these women came out there, and Shelton was digging it. Shelton is loving it. He is looking up and down. He's a champion. He's like, I'm going to need some time. MJF was like, oh, okay, I see what you're saying here. I see what you're saying there. And then Shelton was like, nah, I'm going to need some time, pointing at his watch. So he wants to get his watch. And then he wants the hose, too. Bobby Lashley is not fazed by any of this. He's strong-minded, committed. He was like, man, I don't care nothing about these bitches here. Man, what are you doing in this ring? I want to hurt you. So in the end, MJF gives Shelton the watch, but Bob still says no. Still says no. So when you come back from the break, they're backstage with the girls again. They're about to walk out, and then they about to do an interview, but then they talk amongst themselves. And MVP is like, listen, man, listen. He's going to bring in a certain type of business for us. You know what I'm saying? We use him and then, bring him in, make him feel good about himself. And then in the end, if he acts up, Bobby was like, we heard him. And he was like, yeah, you know what I'm saying? But, for right now, let's talk about that later. Let's just go deal with these hoes. Let's go deal with these hoes. This is a bloodline. This is their version of the bloodline. Now, this thing can really turn everything around for them. Everyone loves the Hurt Syndicate. When they came out, they got a big pop. This could be something for them. Let's see how it plays out. This is clearly a kind of like a bloodline ripoff. MJF is Sami Zayn, and the Hurt Syndicate is like, look, man, we don't know about working with you. This is clearly what that is. But I want to see where it goes. It seems like MJF is starting to come back a little bit. He seems like he's starting to come back a little bit. He did very well here, and I'm interested to see where that goes. This is the only thing. I hope they don't fuck this up. But Tony has a track record of fucking things up. Then you had Konosuke Takeshita and Will Ospreay. This match was really good. I'm not even going to front. I am not even going to front. This match was really good. he has some people over there that he can. He has people over there that are great, but he just needs a booker. That's all he needs. He needs a booker and someone who will produce these people, and he would have a very nice show, a very good show. If he had a booker and a producer, someone who can help produce these people instead of this indie bullshit, then everything would have been fine. You would think that Edge and Christian and Jericho would coach and be that over there. But they're thinking like, listen, man, we getting this money. I'm kidding about none of that shit because we all know in 5 years they going to call us in for WWE for a Hall of Fame, and then we right back at the dance. That's all they thinking about. That's all they thinking about. A few announcements before I get out of here on this show. They announced Grand Slam in Mexico. They're doing a show with CMLL down there in Mexico. That should be pretty good. Let's see how that pans out. Then they're doing a Forbidden Door in London this year, and they're doing I think it's something else this month. I don't know. It was something else that was announced. The main event is Jon Moxley and his crew in a trios match. The Ops, look, he was concussed last week, and that man threw up in the ring. And then them folks picked him up and still beat his ass while that man's concussed. Injuries on top of injuries on top of injuries, I tell you. And another thing, I think, Tony, you should practice what you preach. Because when the trios, you stripped the Bang Bang Gang of the trios championships because of something I forgot. I don't know. I ain't going to touch on it. But Jon Moxley is taking the place of Pac because Pac is hurt. And this was a nice match. Hobbs is I was surprised when I heard Hobbs' music. And I was like, when he was feuding with Jon Moxley over the championship, this would have been a nice little, trios tag match to build Hobbs up to take the title from him. That's if you believed in him, but they don't believe in him. They don't see him as a star. And I think that you're going to see a lot of Hobbs because guess what? All these people finna leave AEW. It's finna get ugly. it's finna get ugly. It's finna be a real war. It's finna be a war it's gonna be the war of the Khans. Tony Khan, Nick Khan,